Hi there, this is Tammy with Tammy's Crafty Life. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you'll come back. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back and watching my videos. I am here today to do a different kind of a video. I am a member of Chantel 141 Design Company's Model Stitcher group, and she had asked us to stitch Christmas ornaments and send them to her, and she was going to finish them for her mystery ornaments backers that she made for us, for everybody. And the ones I stitched was Christmas. This is 2021 Christmas Club 4. I had stitched 2121 Christmas Club 2, and I don't have the pattern anymore because it's a digital pattern, so when I stitched it I got rid of it, but so I don't have this sheet anymore. But I'm going to insert a picture right here that shows what they looked like. They were very cute pictures that I sent to her. And the reason for my video today is to show you how I did the beading. She told me that she had had some people ask when she finished them and showed them on her channel and on her Instagram, and she had people ask if I had a tutorial for beading on cross stitch. And I did not, but I told her I could get one up this weekend, so here I am to do that. It is hard to see on here where the beads are because this is not an actual stitched item, it's a mock-up. But there's beads here and in the middle here, and then there's beads down here. I'm showing you today with this one. I will eventually stitch this one also. I think he's adorable, but I started with this one because I like to stitch words. So, some tips to start out with beading on your cross stitch. Wherever you want to put the beads, your cross stitch needs to be done there first because it's going to be hard to get to it if you left out a stitch somewhere. The beads I'm using are Mill Hill beads, and to make them work successfully, this needs to be on either 14 count or 28 count that's stitched 2/2. Otherwise, the beads are too big. I usually stitch on like a 16 or an 18 count, but I can't do that with these beads. So I'm stitching this on the same fabric I used for the ones I sent to Chantel. It's called something Sky or Galaxy or something. I just got it on Amazon, but I thought it was very pretty and it goes really nice with these. So let me show you where I'm at on this Be Joyful. It's not done, but all the places that there are beads, that there will beads, is done. So here is where I'm at. There's going to be beads right here in the middle of this circle, and then beads down here. So, about beading, if you've watched my channel for very long, you know I do all different kinds of beading. My last tutorial was on making a scissor fob with beads. We're going to be using seed beads. These are Mill Hill glass seed beads. These are the ones that are called for in this pattern that Shannon Christine calls for. Number 2011, they're gold. And when it comes to managing your beads, you have a couple of different options. One is bead mat. That's what this is. This is like a fleece-like fabric, but it's made for beading. And you buy these at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and you usually get 3 together in different colors. I have taken one of these and made 2 of these, which this is a Stampin' Up! Stamp case, and I cut it down and glued it in here. Oh, I didn't actually glue it, I just set it in there. But if I'm in the middle of a project, it lets me shut the lid and set it aside, and I don't have to worry about losing my beads. These are some stick pins that I made. So that's one of the options. The other option is something that's called a bead bed, or there used to be something called a tacky bob, and now I think it's called a tacky bill. And this is just a little case with very, very sticky stuff in it, and when if it gets to where it's not sticky anymore or gets dirty, you can clean it with water. So this is a clear sticky tape of some sort in there. This one is called a bead bed, and this one came from my local needle workshop, Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon. I don't remember how much it was. This one has the same sticky stuff inside. It also has a magnet for your needles. And then this is just a thing on the back so that if you're laying it, if you stitch on scroll rods, you could have this open on your scroll rods. And this would give it friction so it wouldn't slide around. So in deciding if you need this or one of these, and these I found Tacky Bill on Fat Quarter Shop. I'll link it down below. Sorry for the noise, I just knocked something down. So if you're trying to decide which way you want to go with your beading, if I'm sitting at my desk, which is where I do a lot of my cross stitch and or beading, I use this or this. If I'm sitting over in my stitchy spot, which is a recliner, I use this because my beads, like this, these beads don't come off of there. They are stuck in there good, and the adhesive goes all the way to the edges. What else? You don't need a beading needle. These beads are, you can use a beading needle, but you don't have to have one. These beads have a big enough hole. I usually stitch with a size 26 needle, and they go right through it. It goes right through the beads, so I don't need to get out a beading needle. So let me show you how I do this. Actually, before I do that, there are two ways to bead in cross stitch that I know of. This is all just my opinion, my experience. I'm not an expert, and there's probably many other ways out there to do this. But when you're beading in your cross stitch, you can stitch diagonally or straight up and down. And these, I'm going to show you. I've already done these. This is 10 right here that are stitched diagonally, and then these are stitched straight up and down. And the difference in how they're stitched is the ones that go diagonally, you're just doing a half cross inside the bead. The ones that go straight up and down, you're doing a whole cross inside the bead. I use thread. I use my DMC floss that matches or is close to my fabric color. And so today I'm using this color that was already here. And I'm going to show you how it's done. It's really very simple. This is like a very simple. I was intimidated by it till I did it, and then I was surprised. So I can't show you my pattern, but I'm going to look at my pattern. I think my needle is already up where I need it to be for my first bead. So I'm just going to go get the bead, put it on there, and do my half cross. So this is right here. Oops. It's hard to do this looking through the camera instead of trying to see if I got that in the right spot. I do. Okay. It's going diagonally across that spot. And then I'm going to come up. This is very hard to do on camera. So I'm coming up in the next hole. I've found that it works easiest if I bead top to bottom so I can see the holes underneath. On the sticky mat thing, it's kind of hard to get your beads to grab, or they keep wanting to jump off. And I'm going to go down. Right. Sorry, I'm looking through my camera to do this, and this is hard to do. So there's that. And then there's only one more in this row, so I need to come up right next to it. Is that the right spot? Yep, that's the right spot. Get my last bead. And hold on to this right so I don't lose it. and go like that. And so there's my 3. And the top one is not acting right. Let me sit down. I was trying to do this standing up so I can look through the camera, and I can't do that. So, is it twisted or something? Okay, that's better. So that's the way they look. And then my next one is down and to the right. So my next one goes right here. See, this doesn't work very well when I'm trying to do this for camera because they're sticking on there. So they're fighting with me. Oh, come on. There we go. So this one's going to go here. And the next one is right below it. So it's going to go here. And then there's 4 in this row right here. Come on, get on my needle. So as you can see, the cross stitches that were already there, it's getting kind of hard to see them. So if I was trying to cross stitch inside there, it would be very difficult. So there's the next one. Come on. Where did that go? That one goes right there. What are these? If they don't lay exactly right, you can kind of play with them a little bit and they'll get a little bit better. So there's actually 5 across right here, not 4. And did you see when I pulled up, that one kind of went into place a little bit better when I pulled this thread up from the bottom. And there's one more here. That needs to go there. And then there is one right here. And that goes there. So these are kind of falling into place the right way. This one down here, I'm wondering if my thread is off. It's like my thread is not in the right spot because that is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And then there's 3 across here, so I'm going to do 1. All right. There's actually 4 across here. 2. Is that it? No, that's at the top. So number 3. One more. There. So those are the beads that are on the top. I'm actually going to continue this. I'm going to pause my video and continue this and then bring it back and show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'll be back. Okay, I finished that, and now I wanted to show you, I'll show you this. And they add so much, and it's really hard to see on the camera or in a picture, but in person, these are just amazing. This one bead that was out of place, I had the up thread in the right place, and the down thread went way up there, so I had to take all those out and fix that. But I finished this part, and then I finished this part, and this is just so cool. I really love it. Those are all the beads that are in this. Now I need to finish the word, both words, and there's snowflakes all around, so I need to finish all that. So you'll see this on my next video. It will be finished, but maybe not fully finished yet, because I'm waiting until I get my ornaments back from Chantel so I can finish this in a similar fashion. I'm thinking I'm going to change it up a little bit. Chantel pulled out a teal color, and the backing she painted in that color, and kind of just pulled that out. I might pull out the pink instead. I'm not sure. Or green. I'm going to wait until I get it and see it in person, and then I'm going to decide how I fully finish that. So it's going to show you on here. You saw me stitching the crossways ones. I'm going to show you how, and again, doing this in the camera is kind of hard to see where you're going. Wow, that's difficult. So these are the ones that are straight up and down. So I'm going to pick up a bead. And I'm going to go down in this hole right here. And then to make it go straight up and down, you can see it's at an angle. I'm going to come up in the other hole. I'm making a cross. So I'm going to come up in this other hole of the cross. Sorry, got off a little bit there. And pull it up. But then I'm going to go through the bead the same way my thread went through it the first time. So I went through that bead, and then I'm going to go down in the top left hole. And that is how, if I did that right, which it's hard to do on the camera. There's something weird here. And then I'm going to come up. Pick up another bead. And I'm going to go down in this. So that one looks like it's got something wrong with it, but down in this hole. Come up in this bottom hole of the same square. That's the top hole. Come up in the bottom hole. Thread this through there. And go down over here. See if this one works right. Yeah, that one looks right. I did something wrong with this one, but so that's how those are done. It's just a cross inside the bead, and that makes them straight up and down. And these are a half cross. So I'm gonna, oh, sorry, I bumped it. See if it will focus. No, it's not going to focus up that close, so it's there. So that's it for the beading. Shannon Christine a lot of times has beading in her projects. And one time I stitched it on a 18 count and I could not put the beads in. If for some reason you can't put in the beads, just put in a cross. Use a gold color or just a color that goes well with your project. Yeah, I think I used, it was the tea one I did for my picture, for my sister last year. And I think where the beads went, I used my metallic thread because the beads were supposed to be gold and there was already gold metallic thread. So you can see that in here. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I was very clumsy with this. I'm holding this up to the camera and trying to bring, I'm looking through the camera instead of looking at the project itself to figure out where to put my needle. And that was very awkward for me. So there might be a better way to do that. I'm not sure what it is. But that was it for today. This was a different kind of tutorial for me. Usually I'm not on top of the camera at all. I'm doing everything where I can see underneath it. I'll be doing another tutorial sometime in the next month, and I will be showing you how I made this. This I'm using as a scissor fob. It could also be a zipper pull, but this one was fun. Usually I make them long and, you know, just a string, and this one is more of a cluster. So this one was fun. I might even add more to this one before then, and it looks cute just sitting there. So that's it for right now. I apologize for repeating myself. I know I already said that. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazingly crafty day. Bye for now.